that standing here before you today is an honor is a complete understatement. It's hard to even begin to express my gratitude to my Lord Jesus Christ, to my family, to my team, to Mary Kay Corporate, and to each and every one of you for your love, your support, and encouragement that brought me to this moment in time where I have the opportunity to share my heart with you. 6 years ago, when I began my Mary Kay journey, I never dreamed that God had all of this in mind, that He would enlarge my territory to the extent and trust me with the privilege of speaking truth into the lives of countless women. It is my earnest prayer today that I will become invisible and that you only see Jesus and hear the words He wants to speak to your heart. I pray that today is life-changing for hundreds, if not thousands, of you. When I began my Mary Kay business, my only intention was to enjoy a 50% discount on my personal products. And if I ended up selling a little bit along the way and earning a couple of extra $100 a month, well, that would just be icing on the cake. But as I began using the Mary Kay products, I quickly fell in love. I watched my skin change, and that got me excited. At that point, I thought I might better share these amazing products with other women. My business started to grow, and I began to find joy in helping others with their skin. Of course, the paychecks, the prizes, and the Mary Kay car weren't too shabby either. So I continued to work and grow my business, and God continued to grow my passion for this business until I came to the place 4 years ago that I felt Him calling me away from my nursing career and into my Mary Kay business full time. I completely trusted Him and immediately walked away from 26 years of being a nurse into what seemed like unknown territory. But I heard Him loud and clear when He said, there's a time and a season for everything, a time to uproot and a time to embrace. Then He said, you have to trust me. You have no idea all that I have in store for you, but you must not look back. The moment I stepped into that obedience, He gave me complete peace, and I have never looked back or had 1 second of regret. He has used this opportunity to grow me in ways I never could have experienced if I'd been disobedient and refused to follow His leading. So is He calling you to do something that you're afraid to do? Is He asking you to step out of the boat? If so, obey His voice. He will never call you to do something that He won't equip you to do. Don't miss out on all that God has for you. Don't let fear stop you from fulfilling God's purpose for you. I desire to accomplish things that without Him, it would be totally impossible. That way He gets the glory, not me. Every year, I ask God what He has for me and my team and what He wants us to accomplish. And no matter how big or crazy it seems, we commit to it and we run after it. 2 Chronicles 16:9 says, the eyes of the Lord search the whole earth in order to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to Him. Did you get that? God is looking for those who are willing to be fully committed to Him so He can strengthen them. I don't know about you, but I want to be that person that He's looking for. You see, I commit and He gives the strength. Where does your strength come from? Are you trusting in yourself, in other humans, or in your own abilities? Or are you trusting in God? Psalms 27 says, some trust in chariots and horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. At the end of the day, it's not me, it's not my team, it's ultimately my God who brings the victory. But sometimes along the journey, we start to question or doubt. We might ask things like, should this really be my focus? Am I doing the right thing? Did I hear God right? I truly believe that God put Million on my heart for this year, but I had a moment in February where I began to question, should I really be focused on Million? So I began to pray, and I asked God to confirm it if I'd heard him right. And he confirmed that we were called to do Million and to stay on course. I have to say that other than that brief period of time, I had no doubt that we were called and that we would complete it with God's help. But I had no idea that there would be a twist in the road along the way. On May 26th, the day before my youngest son's wedding, we lost our 25-year-old son, Josh. That day I began a journey that I never thought I would be on. As far as we knew, Josh was healthy. He had driven 2 hours that day to spend time with his brother who was about to get married, and they had a great time together. He drove back home late that night, and we would all be going back to Greenville the next day for the wedding rehearsal and the wedding the following day. Josh didn't wake up the next morning. He slipped into eternity around 4 a.m. due to a ruptured brain aneurysm. Our world came to a screeching halt. But we made the decision to go on with the wedding and to allow Matt and Emily to experience their special day that they've been planning for, that they've been dreaming about. How do you grieve and celebrate all at once? You do it when you're covered by the grace of God. Through the deepest and most intense hurt and pain that we have experienced, God poured out his peace and his grace on us. Even though my heart is broken into a million pieces, there has not been one night that I could not lay down and sleep in peace. Psalm 23 has become alive and real to me. The Lord is my shepherd. I have all that I need. He lets me rest in green meadows. He leads me beside peaceful streams. He renews my strength. He guides me along right paths, bringing honor to his name. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect and comfort me. Yes, there's a huge hole in my heart, but I can't begin to describe the complete peace that God has given me. You know, this was not a surprise to God, and looking back over this journey, I see God's hand every step of the way. God spoke to me 2 weeks before my son passed away and said, Million is done. You don't need to worry. You don't need to fret. You can rest in me. And as I shared with you earlier, I had peace since day one, but this was at a deeper level, and I had complete trust. I had no idea how it would all come together, but I knew it was going to. Of course, I continued to work, but I completely gave the results to God. I felt him saying to me, be still. Sometimes God brings us to a place where we must be totally dependent on him. That's where he steps in and does only what he can do. Psalms 46:10 says, be still and know that I am God. And in Exodus it says, don't be afraid, just stand still and watch the Lord rescue you today. 1 Samuel, now then, stand still and see this great thing that the Lord is about to do before your eyes. And in 2 Chronicles 20:17 it says, but you will not even have to fight. Take your positions, then stand still and watch the Lord's victory. He is with you. What does it mean to be still? It means knowing that He is God and trusting that the one who called you is faithful. It's putting your worries aside and no longer trusting in yourself or your abilities, but having complete trust in Him. It's hard to explain the complete peace I had knowing that I could let go and just be with my family during this time, knowing that He was going to get us through and that what He called us to, He was going to complete. God used many people in these final days to rally behind us to help carry us over the finish line. He even raised up my business networking group to get involved. Thank you, Shirley Town. This group supported us by purchasing 170 charcoal masks. And then they started ordering sunscreen in bulk. And on June the 29th, they hosted, I think, the biggest Mary Kay party ever, where we sold over 3,500. And when I went to bed on June 29th, we weren't quite there, but I had such a peace that we would crush our goal. When I woke up the next morning about 7:30, I reached over and I picked up my cell phone. My husband was already up. I clicked on my Facebook page, our team page, and my husband had been up for hours shouting out my consultants as the orders were coming in. And I just thought, well, I just might as well go back to sleep. This is done. Talk about being carried. We continued to work, and we encouraged our team to keep going, and by midnight, we had crushed the $1 million goal and finished with $1,026,946. We were just a few dollars shy of a $70,000 wholesale month, our highest month ever. And my personal team did $33,000 in wholesale production. And we added 39 new unit members that month. It truly felt like it was surreal. But you know what? My God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He still desires to work through His people. He wants to show Himself strong on our behalf. It would have been so easy to give up on our goal and put it aside for another year, but I decided to push through the pain and stay true to what God had called us to do, knowing that His word is unveiling when it says, "My grace is sufficient for you, and my power is made perfect in your weakness." We live in a fallen world, and we all will face trials at some point on our journey. But how you handle those trials is the game changer. Are you willing to let Him have control? Are you willing to let go and surrender to Him? You see, all of this is temporary. The crowns, the diamonds, the paychecks. So let's not get caught up in the temporary, but let's keep our focus on the eternal. When we breathe our last breath on this earth, will your Creator be able to say to you, "Well done, my good and faithful servant"? I am so painfully aware of just how short life is, and that's why I want to be faithful with every breath I have, to share the love of Jesus with others, and to help others know and have a relationship with Him. It changes everything. As a 7-year-old little girl, I gave Jesus control of my life, and I have sought to live for Him ever since. And my one and only purpose is to fulfill His purpose in me. If you don't have a personal relationship with Jesus, it would be my greatest honor to share more with you. Sometimes this life can feel hopeless, but He is a God of hope. Whatever you find yourself struggling with today, give it to God. He can do abundantly more than we ask or think. So take time to be still and know that He is God. And I pray that this seminar year, as you surrender to Him and His purpose for you, that you will experience Him in ways you never have before. To God be the glory. Great things He has done.